What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. Well, first off, I would like to wish anyone who observes 420 as a holiday a happy 420 to you. May today be a cloudy day for you indeed. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to try and be as vague as possible because I don't want to piss anybody off. I don't want to offend anyone or get myself in any hot water with any of you fans. So I will be as vague as I can. We're going to discuss the top 10 best 420 movies. So the top 10 best movies to watch on 420 or at 420 or any time that it is 420 for you. All right. So first off, and this is in no order as far as best to worst. It's just random. As I thought of them, I wrote them down. Okay, so first off, we have Half Baked. This came out in 1998, and it stars Dave Chappelle and Jim Brewer and a ton of other people that you're going to know. This movie's a classic. It's basically about three friends who are four friends. One of them gets locked up, and then the other three do what they can to earn money to get him out of prison. These friends would love 420. I'm sure they do love 420. I'm sure they celebrated it every single year. Now, how do these friends decide to make money? Well, they get tied up in the 420 business. They cause some trouble along the way. So this is a zany, goofy comedy. If you know Dave Chappelle, it's his type of humor, so you should enjoy it. Next, we have Dazed and Confused. This came out in 1993, and it's about a group of teens in, I believe it's the late 70s. It's the last day of school before summer starts, and it's basically how they spend their night, their day and night, the last day. It's full of 420 references, 420 in the movie. There's tons of clouds of smoke all over the place. So if 420 is what you're looking for, this movie's for you. Now, this movie is not a zany comedy. It's more of a true-to-life comedy. So you'll notice that they portray the teens in a very real way. It doesn't matter if you grew up in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. You'll relate to these teens in some way, shape, or form. And you'll look at their lives and go, oh, wow. Even though that's set, 30-something years ago, that's 40 years ago even, that's something that I go through today. So definitely check out Dazed and Confused. That's a great one if you haven't. It's a little bit under the radar. Not a lot of people know about Dazed and Confused. But it's a really good movie. It's funny, and it's a great coming-of-age movie. Okay. Next, we have Pineapple Express, 2008. That's Seth Rogen and James Franco. Both of them 420 observers, I'm sure, who get tangled up in the world of crime, drugs, and whatnot. And all types of slapstick comedy ensues. Now, one thing I was surprised of when I saw this movie is not only is it like it's not a zany comedy, but it is. It's weird. It's like a mix of just regular old plain comedy and then that zany, goofy comedy, and then it actually has some pretty good action in it, and it's hella violent. I was surprised by all of that when I saw the movie, and I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but I really enjoyed Pineapple Express, and it to me, it held up on multiple watches. So definitely check out Pineapple Express if you haven't. Next on the list, we have one that not a lot of people know about. This is Reefer Madness. This came out in 1936, and it wasn't meant to be a comedy. It's actually an instructional video that was shown to parents and children about the dangers of 420. So definitely check this one out because it is hilarious. The way they thought about it and the way that they presented it to people in 1936 is not only interesting, but it's funny as hell. So, like I said, it's not meant to be a comedy, but it is. And it's relatively short, so it's a quick watch, and it's definitely a must-see for all of you 420 lovers. All right, next up we have Detroit Rock City. This is another one not a lot of people know about. This one came out in 1999, and it revolves a bunch of high school kids again who are obsessed with the band Kiss. This also takes place in the late 70s, early 80s. I'm not sure. one of the two. And they're obsessed with the band Kiss. So this is about their journey to go to their first Kiss concert. They are all 420 mad, madmen. And the movie is very slapsticky and very goofy, but it's it's meant for older teens and adults. So I think if you're a 420 person, you'll really enjoy it. It's one of my favorites. I love Detroit Rock City. Next on the list, most people know about because they have a convention revolving around it, but that's going to be the Big Lebowski, which came out in 1998. Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, and a bunch of other faces you're going to know. It's the Coen Brothers movie. You gotta love the Coen Brothers. Almost everything they do is on point. So this basically follows a 40-something-year-old 420 enthusiast. He reminds me of a couple of my uncles, actually. And it's a very dark comedy. So some people look at it and they go, that I wasn't funny at all. So you have to have that sensibility of, liking the dark humor that can come across as maybe being serious, but in all actuality, it's meant to kind of be funny undertones. It's a really, really interesting movie. Go check it out, though. The Big Lebowski. Next, we got How High. This came out in 2001, starring Method Man and Redman. Some people know it. Some people don't know about it. But everybody I know that's seen it liked it. So Meth and Redman, they basically play themselves. Two hood dudes that, they're from the street. They're rough. They're rugged. And I'm not going to tell you how it happens, but they end up getting perfect scores on their SATs, which are called the THCs in this movie, and they get accepted to Harvard. And this is a full-on 420 movie. I'm sure you could tell by the title. And it's definitely goofy. It's like half-baked. I would put it on the same plane as that. But it's really, really funny. And even if you don't like hip-hop or you're not into that type of culture, you'll like this movie because it has some really funny moments in it. Next, we got Super High Me, 2006. This is a documentary, and I only put it on here because it's the best documentary I've seen on the subject matter, and it's probably one of the funniest documentaries I've ever seen. So Super High Me is making fun of another documentary called Super Size Me, where the guy eats McDonald's every day for 30 days. Well, in Super High Me, we followed comedian Doug Benson, who is really funny if you never checked out his stand-up or his comedy. He's really funny. So we followed Doug Benson, where he does 30 days of no 420 moments, zero 420 moments, and this is a 420 guy, for 30 days. And then we do another 30 days of full-on 420 moments all day, every day, just like Super Size Me had to eat every meal at McDonald's. Well, in Super High Me, it's 420 all day, every single day. And it is a great documentary and comedy. And his stand-up is like spliced in the middle there. So definitely check out Super High Me. Almost done. Next, we got Grandma's Boy. This was 2006 also. This is from Happy Madison, so it's the Adam Sandler crew. Adam Sandler's not in it, but it's his crew. A lot of the actors that show up in his movies are in this movie. Basic premise, we follow another late 30s, I guess, not 40-something. I would say late 30-something 420 enthusiast who works at a video game company. So it's got a lot of stuff for you video game nerds. I used to be a huge video game nerd, not so much anymore. But it's got a lot of stuff that video game nerds now, or if you used to be a video game nerd, will definitely appreciate. So the guy loses his apartment, has to move in with his grandmother and her roommates, and it's definitely a great 420 movie, full of it. And there is a party scene in this movie that is probably one of the best house party scenes I've ever seen in any movie ever. One of the best. No, I wouldn't say the best, but definitely one of. Okay, and last but not least, we have Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which came out in 1998. This is a love or hate. I never met anybody that says, it's all right. Either they're head over heels in love with the movie, or they absolutely hate it. So this stars Johnny Depp, Benicio del Toro, and it's based off of Hunter S. Thompson. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Crazy guy, great writer, very strange writing, very strange man. And Johnny Depp basically plays Hunter S. Thompson in this movie, and Benicio del Toro plays his lawyer partner or whatever. And what they do is they're going to some convention in Las Vegas, and all types of 420 stuff happens. Not just 420 though. It's not limited to that. The limits are, and there are no limits. It's outer limits. This movie is very strange, very weird, very dark. Like I said, you'll either love it or you hate it. If you're a 420 person, you'll probably love it. But I do warn you, it's very strange, dark, and can be disturbing. Some of the visuals. So if you're going into this movie and you're going into it partying and having a great time with your friends in a cloudy room and all types of things going on, be careful because you may freak out watching this movie, all right? So you've been warned. All right, so that's my top 10 list. Few honorable mentions I'm just going to rattle off because I love these movies. They just didn't make the list. Neighbors, not a 420-centric movie, but has great 420 moments. That came out in 2014. Seth Rogen, Zac Efron. The Savages. This is a dead-on serious crime drama. Nothing zany or wacky about this one, but it has a 420 theme. Came out in 2012. Taylor Kitsch, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Benicio del Toro. Good movie if you like Oliver Stone. It's an Oliver Stone film. Then we have Dude, Where's My Car, 2000. This movie felt like it was meant to be rated R, but then they cut it to be PG-13 because it should have had more 420 in it. The characters are obviously 420 heads. There is a tiny bit of 420 moments, but it's definitely a zany, goofy, wacky movie, and it's definitely not for everybody. It's seriously wacky and goofy, all right? But it's definitely 420 themed, and I enjoy it. Then we have Blow. You say, why is Blow on this list? Not really 420, but the first 20 minutes, 420. That's Johnny Depp, Penelope Cruz. You know the movie. Came out in 2001. Then, last but not least, on the honorable mention list, we have Super Troopers, which has a loose 420 theme. It has 420 in it, but it's not really a 420 movie. That's why it didn't make my list. It only made honorable mentions. That was 2001. If you don't know about Super Troopers, you need to get on that and go see it. It's amazing. It's one of the funniest movies ever. And they got part 2 coming out, I think, next year. Maybe this year. Gotta look into that. And then real quick, these franchises are 420 head dream. So they didn't make the list because there was franchises, and they would have taken up most of the list with just these. So I'm just going to rattle them off. Anything Cheech and Chong from the 70s and 80s. There's 5 or 6 movies. They are absolutely hilarious. The 420 throughout, all the way. Themed throughout the movie. Smoke in the air. Great. The one that stands out to me as being one of the best, it's called Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. Go check it out and then watch the rest of them. Awesome movies. Then you have the Harold and Kumar movies, which started in 2004. Gotta love Harold and Kumar. 2 guys go out on these zany adventures, and 420 all over the movies. And Friday, 1995 was the first one. Ice Cube, Chris Tucker. These are great movies. I hope they keep making them. There's a Christmas movie here, so if you love Christmas like me, and you're a 420 person, you'll love Friday. Harold and Kumar has a Christmas movie also. So there you go. But also great movies Friday. And then you have Ted 1 and Ted 2. Those are, I'd say, 420 movies. 2012 was the first one. Seth MacFarlane and Mark Wahlberg. Funny as hell. If you like Family Guy type of humor, you'll really like the Ted movies if you haven't already seen them. All right, that's it for this list. It was definitely longer than I wanted to make it. Sound off down below. Let me know if I missed anything that you like, that you think is your favorite, or if you want to comment on my list, on any of the movies I put on my 420 list. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please enjoy the rest of your 420. Make it a cloudy, cloudy day. If today is the one day where you should be walking around in a cloud of smoke, not knowing what time it is, it's today. So get on that if you haven't already done it. And thanks again for watching. I hope you watched the whole thing. I hope you enjoyed it. And yep, that's it for this video. You guys have a great 420, and I will see you next time.